Okay, so let's plot and lay out the landscape for today. So total is has the least drop, and the altcoins excluding Ethereum has the most drop. So we're on the Binance chart weekly. Let's lay out the field. So top of the range in white, bottom of the range in red. This red line here, 50%, is the 50% of the bottom of the range to the top of the range, okay? And then I like to have the golden ratio, and that's where we're at right now on the weekly. Weekly hasn't closed yet, 3 days left, okay? Cool, that's the main things to pay attention to. Now, let's have a look at the 4-hourly chart, and let's see what we can see. So looking back now, you can see, sometimes it works this way. You look back and you're like, that was looking like a rising wedge. That was looking like a rising wedge. Okay, I did kind of mention it in my previous video saying it did look a bit rising wedgy. It did, and now look at it. It clearly was. It clearly was. And for those of you that did manage to look at a rising wedge and was planning on shorting this, that's what you got. So let's extrapolate its potential target, and it broke down from here. Okay, and that's our target right there. And look on the dollar, okay, nearly hit its 50% because that was what I was watching. I outlined this in yesterday's video, and we've reached our target, and now we're trying to push up. So if I was probably looking at hourly, we're trying to hold it. We're trying to really hold it here. Now I imagine that what Bitcoin is really trying to do, what the bulls are trying to do, is make its way back up to this trend line, right? It's trying to make its way. It was a battle. It was a battle. This was a big battle. Big battle, and the bears just took it back within one swoop. Within 1 day, they just took it. And if you have a look at the volume, the volume picked up on this candle. Remember, I was mentioning that the volume didn't look too good. The volume was not looking good, and yeah, bears took it back. Bears took it back. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. There's nothing much else for me to say really. I just want to see more data come in. You could put in a long. I was planning on getting in on this 50% long here, but I don't think I got in. I'll have to have a look. Maybe I made a mistake on my entry point, but I doubt I'm in. But yeah, yeah, that's where we're at. We just got to wait for more information to come through because we've met the target of this rising wedge. There's nothing else to really say. I imagine, and all other alts have probably been bleeding as well. Well, they have been in it, right? Totals. So yeah, don't know if there's much point me having a look at stuff really. What's Near saying? Near, yeah, you got the rejection there. Come back to our 50%. Look at that on the dollar. Probably should have put in a long here. I didn't look at Near. I've mainly been trading Bitcoin, but I should have looked at this. Could have put on a trade, but it wouldn't have been a big trade. I would have probably traded this 50% to its next 50%, which would have been something like grabbing it from the top to the bottom, you know, that 50%, maybe trading that, and what's the potential for that on a 10x leverage, something 40 or 45% or something. So it would have been a good trade, but I didn't do it in it. So that's Near. What about Sol and all the rest? What about Solana and all the rest? Oh gosh, wow. Okay, Solana got hit with that. Came back down to its 50% here. Which 50% is this? Let's have a look. Right here, rising wedgie. Yeah, of course, a big wedgie. So yeah, it's not looking good. If I fling it on Heikin-Ashi, we're down, right? Like the trend is down at the moment. It's down on the 4-hour. Daily, down on the daily. Okay, we're down on the daily. Breaking these lows. Creating lower lows. You know, there's a lower high here from that high. You know, where's this high gonna come to? Maybe it comes back down. Maybe it pushes a bit higher. Maybe Solana's able to mount an attack here. It gets rejected at like the 50%. Gets rejected at the 50% and makes one last push down. Maybe it makes one last push down, and they'll see that as an ABC structure. Elliott Wave theorist, as an ABC structure. Where would it go down to though? That's the question. Where would it go down to? What's the let's have a look. Doing this on the fly. Let's fling on my indicator here. Get rid of the RSI for now. And there's a swing here. That's the 50% already. Okay, cool. So we've already come down and retested that. So I would in this case, okay, automatic. In this case, I would measure it from this swing here, from this down, this one here, this major one right here. Look, we kind of already hit. So maybe a 618, it's a $90.58. $90.58. Let me lock that here as well to make sure I catch something like that. $90.58, and then move this back to its 50% here. Cool. So yeah, that's all we can do. 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 So not much to update on. TR, what's TR doing? Oh my gosh, I really need to get rid of these drawings sometimes. Remove drawings. But then it removes what I did previously. TR, let's back out our fibs again. Wow, that's not looking good. That's underneath the 50%. That's not looking good at all. Switch to the daily. Yeah. Yeah, gotta wait for more data. Where else would I be looking at potentially scooping up some TR? It was down here, really. That would have been the buy area, and that would have been it for me. Well, obviously, I would have bought the 50%, the 618, and that at most. Do you know what I mean? This one at most. So maybe if it comes back down to retest this, that might be an area, which is $7.61, potentially so. But if we go up from here, then yeah, as I mentioned, you know, push up and create an inverse head and shoulders. You know, that's for the bullish case. Could happen. So yeah, that's TR. What else? VeChain. What's VeChain doing? I was in a long for VeChain for a long time back in the day. Let's get rid of you. Let's remove drawings. Let's back out our fibs on this. What are we on? We're on a daily chart. Cool. 618 hit. 618 hit. But still coming down. Still not enough strength on that. All right. Weekly. Let's bring you down to a weekly swing. Okay, and that was the weekly swing right there. So if this fails to hold up, we're going to have to move our fibs. You can see it's hit the 50% there, but a 618 down here, that will be a next sort of entry if anyone's interested in VeChain. 3 cents. What else? Wax P. Wow, some of these old school ones. Optimism. Let's have a look at Optimism. Wow, okay. Some of these things losing its golden ratio. Some of these things that were booming is losing the golden ratio. You know what the time is right now? For me, the time is to sort of like really have a look at what's weak and what's strong, like as we start to push down. And that's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to spend a lot of time having a look at what's holding strength. Arbitrum. What's Arbitrum doing? Oh my goodness. Some of these coins are getting wrecked. Just not holding up compared to others. A lot of these coins that were booming at the start it's just not doing it. Let's take it down for its all-time lows here. Like, what is that? Fuck. My gosh. Getting wrecked. Bitcoin is king, you know. Bitcoin is king. AVAX, hold it. Oh my gosh, look at the swing. So just remember where the swing was. A lot of these things I'm having to pull back. I'm having to pull right back to this white line, the white zigzag. Look at that. 618 and struggling with the 50. Okay, not as bad as certain others, but they're struggling. Arweave, an all-time favorite. Wow, what fib was I chasing there? Must have been on a much lower time frame. Rejected up here. Okay, cool, that's fine. Let's grab like the others. Let's grab this swing from the white. Let's see where it came up to. So Arweave's looking a lot stronger. It's holding up a lot stronger above its 50%, but this bar is just too wild. That's just something that I wouldn't get into. You know, I was in Arweave for a long time. I've got a bit of Arweave. I don't even know where I bought it at, to be honest with you, but definitely not throughout this. I wasn't buying it up here. That's for sure. Yeah, with things like this, I wait for the 618. I'll catch a bounce on the 618, ride it up for as long as I can and get the fuck out. That would be my plan. That would be my plan. Do you know what I mean? Like 618, ride it to the 50, take some profits, and then leave a moon bag. And unless it comes back down to like retest some of these highs. But then again, you do have a weekly support here. I just missed it. This yellow line here. You do have a weekly support here. So the 618, if you start to see some sort of like consolidation at least to build another campaign, then that might look good, because I do like the idea of, oh, I like it. But that pump is it's too harsh. It's too quick, too fast. I'm not getting in on that unless it's a quick in and out, or if it's a leverage trade. I'm in and out. Cosmos, not looking good at all as well. Look, if I was to grab the fib on that, we're well below the 618. The only thing with Cosmos is in the sense that like it hasn't broken these monthly swings. It's in a consolidation range. I see this more as consolidation. Hopefully it's not distribution and we drop out and it's accumulation to where we shoot up, you know, but I don't mind holding on to my Cosmos is staking. BNB was very strong, wasn't it? Look at BNB. Now this is strength. This is strength right here. This is strength. 50%. Look where its 50% is. Okay? Its 50% is this one here. It's 50%. Hold on, let me just double check that. Click on this line here. That one is it. Okay, it's down here. Its 50% is here at $4.22. Nowhere near it compared to the rest. Nowhere near it. Huge strength. I'm gonna seriously consider BNB. I'm gonna seriously consider purchasing some more BNB. So yeah, but obviously, you know, I'm not gonna consider it unless it comes down to its 50% here. And this 50% is its all-time high. So maybe this area here, 50%, and maybe a 618. BNB's up there for me. What about Phantom? Let's have a look at Phantom. Okay, now let's try and grab its zigzag 50%. This swing. Come on. There we go. Somewhere up here. Cool. It's already hit the 618, but it's below its 50%, but faring better than certain other ones. But not the best. You want it to get back above its 50% here at 77 cents. But also not a bad place to purchase. If you was buying down here, I think that's not a bad place to purchase. Anywhere from there, 66 cents would have been good. But let's see what it does. These things pumped, man. These things pumped. Illuvium. Was I doing any tracking on Illuvium? Nothing on Illuvium. Okay. We can already tell it's below its... Well, actually, let's back out our fibs on that. Let's back out the fibs on that. Illuvium well past its 618 here. So we're going to push it back. And yeah, okay. So it hit that 618. You're having to push these fibs back, man. When you're backing out these fibs, you need to take it back. And a lot of them are below its 50%. Injective. Everyone was speaking about Injective. Let's do this one. Okay. So from here in September 2023, rise up. Yep, below its 50%. Came below its 618. Shot back up. Closed above it, which is good, but below its 50%. We do have this weekly swing, which is kind of holding it. We do have this 50%, which is this weekly swing, which is holding it, which is good. Okay, so yeah, that's where I would have been purchasing if I was thinking about Injective, but I just want a bit of time to pass, right? I want a bit of time to pass on Bitcoin in the market, and let's see what happens after then. Really? Chainlink? What's Chainlink doing? Okay, I didn't have any fibs on Chainlink. Oh, cool. Let's back out our fibs on this one. 618, above its 50% though. This one's currently above its 50%. So Chainlink looking relatively stronger versus some of the others that I've looked at. 50% comes in at $14. That was a good place to buy, and so was just 618 down here at $12. But let's see what's going to happen. Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin versus Bitcoin is terrible. I'm not even going to bother to do this. Yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a long one just going through it. There's no trades for me to take. Right? There's no trades. So that's me. That's pretty much me. What was subscribed to CoinsKid's Discord? I was having a look at what trade he was looking to take. He was looking to take a long. He's actually taken a long on Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. It's a very short time frame, and he looks like he wants to ride it up to the 66.2. 66.2. Where's 66.2? 66.2 is around here. So roughly my trend line. Okay. All roads lead to Rome, you know. A lot of TA people, their stuff just usually, even though their methods might be different, they usually align quite well. 66.2. Yeah, that's right, my trend line. Yeah, but my rules won't allow me to go in right now. My rules won't allow me to go in unless that 50% gets hit or a 618 gets hit. I can't take that now. I can't mark it in. So yeah, that's it really. Cool. Stay safe out there. Have a good day. And, you know, then again, what do I know? Yeah, cool.